Very interesting that each of you points to 20 years of experience in something, one way or the other. And there's some things that you've said that I'd like to follow up on. And one of them, let's put it this way, you talked about your immigrant experience. If the three of you, if one of you gets to Sacramento, what would you do in terms of the state's immigration policy? What would you like to see done?
I'll start. One of the companies that I'm involved with, that I've helped fund and work with, is called, pardon my not great accent, despite 7 months of living in El Salvador in a community of repatriated refugees and volunteering there, my accent is still not great. But it's called Saber es Poder, knowledge is power. And we work with educating recent Latino immigrants and bringing them into American society, and helping them, educate them about living the American dream and how to open up a bank account and how to get health insurance and how to access those parts of society. And what we found is that kind of information is critical to reach out to these immigrant populations and get them into the system. And we have a partnership with the Mexican consulates to do that. So we formed a joint venture with the Mexican consulates to do that. And I think that's the kind of thing that we need to do. We need policies that say, that welcome the immigrants that are here into our society. Let's let them get educated. Let's make them part of society. And that's what I believe we need to do.
Even if they're illegal immigrants?
Well, let me comment on that. I think that, first of all, I think that what we need to understand is that immigration really is a federal issue. It's the federal responsibility to secure the borders of this country. And I would like to see us find a way for those who are here illegally, find a path for them to become legal residents of this country. They contribute and participate in our economy, and I think we need to recognize that. I also think that the federal government needs to take a responsibility to work to improve economic situations in other countries through foreign aid, and also make sure that we stand firm for human rights violations that might exist in other countries that would cause people to want to come here. Because I think people leave their country of origin to come here because of the economy or because of some kind of grievous situation in their home country.
Would you agree?
Well, I mean, my perspective on immigration. I actually wrote a book about America as a world nation. So in our book, which was about America's future, we wrote about that America needs to embrace that it derives its strength from the diversity of its people. That it's a nation of immigrants. And we predicted the day that America would become a nation of majority-minority, where all of us are equally minority. And that is true in California today. I became the first Asian elected to the city council. And when I was mayor of Palo Alto, there were 5 mayors in Santa Clara County, and all 5 of us were first-generation immigrants.
Some at least.
Can I just answer the question on the
on
the immigrant? Sorry.
Okay, go on.
Which was when people ask me, well, do you support illegal immigration? And well, no. But we do need to take care of the immigrants who are here, and obviously all the 50% of the K through 12 population is already Hispanic, 10% Asian. And as somebody pointed out, all the future policymakers of California are in 3rd grade today. And so if we don't succeed in educating them, we're in trouble. So no to illegal immigration, but yes, obviously, once they're here, we want to educate them.
Josh, I think you
I was going to raise another aspect of immigration, which is very critical to our high-tech sector and our clean tech sector, and that's having enough visas, H-1B visas, for companies function here. The recent stats are such that I think almost 40% of startups are started by people who came to this country as immigrants. So we need to be very careful about keeping those people, putting the barriers too high so they then don't come to our country and they end up starting the companies in their own country. So we need to welcome people in. That's what's made Silicon Valley what it is. We've welcomed the best and the brightest from all kinds of countries, and they've come here to start their companies and grow their businesses.
I find it interesting what the three of you have said, because you've put the emphasis on assisting those who are already here. And you had even talked about the U.S. giving foreign aid, perhaps, to those countries that have high rates of immigration or illegal immigrants in this country. But what would you say to people who said, look, our focus should be on our own people, the people who are citizens of this country, rather than using our scarce resources for those who are here illegally?
Well, let me give you one example. We, in San Mateo County and our county government, we have a responsibility for health care, and we operate a public hospital and clinic system. I want to make sure that all children, regardless of their status, get the health care they need. Because if a child who is here illegally does not get health care, that child is going to have an impact on schools and all other children if it's some kind of a contagious situation. So I think it's imperative that we provide service to folks as we work with the federal government to find a path towards legalization.
Comments?
No, I agree with that. I mean, I think it's no, I agree with it. It's very much in line with what I was saying, and so we do need to find that path, and we do need to make sure that if folks are here, that they are provided with health care.
So San Francisco is talking about boycotting Arizona. When one of you, whoever gets to Sacramento, would you be supportive of boycotting the state of California, boycotting Arizona?
I mean, the Arizona law, I mean, it's somebody, I mean, actually, I have to confess, I haven't actually read the very words, but I understand some of it might have been mistaken, but what I would not stand for is what might come across as racial profiling. So obviously, if they plan to stop every Hispanic person and ask them for their papers, that is something that we need to all stand up and say, absolutely not. And we should all stand up and say we're Hispanic, and so to do it right, that the police would need to stop every white person, every Asian person, every person on the street,
Well,
and ask
we know
them
that
equally.
that would not happen.
Well, if they don't do that, believe me, we would not stand for anything. I would not stand for anything like that happening.
Henrietta, I find the Arizona law to be blatantly racist, and I trust and hope that it finds a quick demise through the courts and that it is overturned. As to a boycott, I'm not sure that actually is productive for us in terms of getting the law changed. Because if you boycott the state of Arizona, you're hurting businesses and individuals who get swept up in this process of us boycotting. I don't want to hurt businesses in Arizona. I want to change the law in Arizona. That's what I want to achieve.
Josh?
Yeah, I don't know if boycotting is practical, but we do need to send a strong message that we don't agree with the law and we don't agree with that policy.